We saw what they could do without Caitlin Clark, and it wasn't impressive.
If you are a member of the Indiana Fever, please make sure your family does not have Twitter fingers, because this is going to happen.
One tweet turned a WNBA locker room into a war zone of opinions, loyalty, and drama. And it didn't even come from a player. It came from a mom. Kelsey Mitchell's mom hit like on a post that basically threw Caitlin Clark under the bus. And suddenly the Indiana Fever's season wasn't just about basketball anymore. It became a battlefield. What happened next wasn't just about a social media post. It peeled back layers of tension, rivalry, and uncomfortable truths. Because when family speaks up, people listen, and sometimes they can't unhear it. But is this about disrespect, or is it exposing something no one wanted to admit?
Let's break it all down.
1. The tweet that broke the Fever's chill. It started simple, a social media post dragging Caitlin Clark's fan base as delusional. Annoying? Maybe, but it wasn't nuclear. Until the next sentence came in hot. We all saw who really carries the Fever. Not Clark, Mitchell. And then, the moment that changed everything, Kelsey Mitchell's mom co-signed it. That like? That little digital nod? It might as well have been a thunderclap in the locker room. Fans went ballistic. Suddenly, this wasn't just a spicy opinion. It felt personal. Not just to Clark, not just to Mitchell, but to everyone who believed the Indiana Fever were finally building something real. And the problem wasn't the tweet itself. It was the unspoken message behind it. 2. Fan bases went to war and the court felt it. The fallout was instant. Clark's supporters didn't hold back. They called the post petty, disrespectful, and flat out wrong. Meanwhile, Mitchell's side doubled down. They said, finally, someone said what needed to be said. It wasn't just a disagreement. It was an all-out fan war. This went beyond stats, beyond wins, beyond performance. This was about pride. It was about who gets the credit. The Fever were supposed to be a team on the rise, but now it felt like factions were forming. Lines were drawn, and the real question wasn't about basketball anymore. It was about respect. Is team unity just a lie? Think about it. Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston. On paper, they're a dream trio, a super team in the making. But when a teammate's own mother is publicly undermining another star, that dream starts cracking. And yeah, fans love rivalries. But when that rivalry is inside your own locker room, that's not drama. That's poison. It's the kind of thing that doesn't get talked about in interviews, but shows up in the body language. In the passes that don't come, in the glances that last just a second too long. And the worst part, the players might not even be the problem. It's the noise around them, the families, the fans, the ones turning basketball into a battlefield. 5. But then the stats walk in.
Here's where it gets real.
Say what you want about Clark. Call her overhyped. Call her a media darling. But the numbers, they don't lie. When Caitlin Clark is on the floor, the Fever win more. Without her, the team crashes hard. With Clark, 8 wins, 5 losses. Without Clark, 4 wins, 7 losses. And it's not just wins, it's everything. Scoring efficiency tanks without her. Assists drop. The offense looks lost. Aaliyah Boston gets better shots when Clark's running the plays. Mitchell gets easier buckets when Clark draws defenders. That's not hype. That's impact. And here's the twist no one talks about. Clark hasn't even played a single game without either Mitchell or Boston. So all those Clark can't win without them takes, they're based on zero evidence. 6. Perception is louder than reality. Still, the noise refuses to die down. Day after day, Caitlin Clark finds herself at the center of every storm, even the ones she didn't create. The team loses, blame Clark. The chemistry looks off, must be her fault. Too much media attention, that's on her too. And now even locker room tension that started from someone else's mom somehow lands at Clark's feet. You start to wonder, what did she actually do? She didn't call anyone out. She didn't throw shade. She didn't like a post, reply to a tweet, or clap back in the press. She shows up, she laces up. She hustles. She drops dimes, sinks threes, and plays through injuries. She elevates her teammates, even when some of their families are out here throwing shots. And yet, she's the one getting dragged. It's the kind of upside-down logic that only social media could invent. A world where being quiet still makes you the villain, where your very presence is controversial. Clark could put up 30 points and 10 assists on national TV, carry the team on her back, and walk out with the win. But come morning, the headline isn't about her performance. It's about someone's mom liking a tweet, and somehow that still loops back to Clark. This isn't basketball discourse anymore. This is perception warfare. The Fever aren't just battling opponents on the court. They're battling whispers, comments, quote tweets, and YouTube thumbnails. And perception? It doesn't care about context. It doesn't wait for the full story. It just spreads. And when that perception turns toxic, even the tightest locker room can start to crack. Because at that point, the Indiana Fever aren't just trying to win games. They're trying to survive the narrative. And that's a fight no team ever truly wins.
So, what's really going on? Let's ask the hard question. Is this about basketball? Or is this about ego? Some fans want Mitchell to get her flowers. Others want Clark to be humbled. And in the middle of all that, you've got 3 elite players just trying to win. But how do you win when every post, every like, every interview becomes ammo? This isn't just a locker room issue. It's a culture issue. It's about how quickly we turn teammates into enemies and let fan narratives sabotage the truth. 8. Can the Fever survive this? Here's the hard truth, and it cuts through all the noise. The Indiana Fever don't need a hero. They need harmony. Kelsey Mitchell, Alia Boston, Caitlin Clark. This isn't about who's number 1. This isn't some ranking system or ego contest. This is a trio, a balance. A chemistry that only works when every piece is fully locked in. Because this team isn't built on one superstar dragging everyone else across the finish line. It's a system built on synergy, timing, trust. And when one piece falls out of sync, the entire machine starts to sputter. That tweet, it tried to turn them into rivals. It pushed the idea that one is carrying the others. That someone's being dragged while the rest are doing the heavy lifting. But the numbers and the wins tell a different story. They don't just coexist. They enhance each other. Clark opens up the floor for Mitchell. Mitchell takes pressure off Boston. Boston controls the paint and lets Clark work her magic in transition. It's a chain reaction. And it only works if every link is strong. The path to a championship doesn't run through ego. It runs through unity. And that's why this drama, this social media noise, is more dangerous than people realize. Because it isn't just a tweet, it's a distraction, a wedge, a crack in the foundation of something that could be special. And if that noise starts echoing louder than the game plan, if it creeps into practices, team meetings, post-game pressers, then the Fever won't just drop a few games. They'll lose the trust, the chemistry, the momentum they've worked so hard to build. This team has the pieces. They have the talent. They have the chance to make history, but only if they silence the drama. And remember why they started playing together in the first place. One tweet, one I agree, one little spark. That's all it took to set off an inferno of drama, division, and doubt. But the real question isn't who liked what. It's whether the Fever can tune it all out and remind the world that greatness comes from unity. Because if they can't, then Mama Mitchell's like may go down as the moment everything fell apart.
We saw what they could do without Caitlin Clark, and it wasn't impressive.
If you are a member of the Indiana Fever, please make sure your family is not of Twitter fingers because this is going to happen.